Update. Am I the a-hole for calling my fiancée selfish for wanting to announce her pregnancy at her cousin's wedding? Original post. My fiancée, 29, and I, 31 male, just found out that we're pregnant. My fiancée mentioned that she wanted to wait to announce it at her cousin's wedding, which will be taking place on Sunday. Her cousin and her husband has been struggling getting pregnant even with IVF, or the tons of others. And recently they just got some news that their insurance has stopped funding IVF, and not to mention the heartbreak of a recent miscarriage on Mother's Day. They almost understandably held off on the wedding. So when my fiancée brought it up to me, I told her it's not at all a good idea. This just seemed so wrong, especially it being at their wedding. I asked if she was gonna at least ask her cousin for permission, and she said no, because she wanted it to be a surprise for everyone. I told her it's not the time nor the place for that, and it would take the spotlight off the couple. In her family there hasn't been a baby in 3 years, so we'd be the first in that time. Fiancée feels that's the perfect time because it's such a joy, and it's not like she can keep it away forever. And that their problem shouldn't keep her from telling something so positive, so it's on them if they turn it negative. I told her that's not the point. She knows what they've been through, and she's being selfish if she actually goes through with that. She just cried and claimed I wasn't being supportive, and I shouldn't be calling my pregnant fiancée selfish. Now she doesn't want me to come with her to the wedding anymore either, feeling as if I would kill the mood. She hasn't been talking to me either. Edit. So about my fiancée and her cousin's relationship. My fiancée always saw competition in her cousin because her cousin would be better at some things than her. Grades, dancing, cosmetics, etc. since they were kids, and she hates that. Last year they had an argument about it because my fiancée felt her cousin bragged too much, whereas my fiancée also mentioned there was one thing her cousin wasn't good at, but never said what it was. So in shorter terms, the relationship is in between good and bad, but her cousin wanted to invite her to the wedding, I'm guessing to rekindle that. Not the a-hole. Your fiancé has a bad case of main character syndrome. To the point of actually being unimaginably cruel. Opie, this is pretty concerning. If I was Opie, I would highly consider warning the cousin, but that could definitely cause marriage problems. Or spoiling the surprise ahead of time, so she couldn't do it on the wedding day. Not the a-hole. I came to say exactly this. And honestly, Opie, I know she's pregnant, but you really should think long and hard about marrying a woman who would do this. I'm sorry to say this, but only narcissistic people would pull this crap at someone's wedding, much less one where the bride had a recent miscarriage. There are 4 things you never ever do at a wedding without express approval from bride and groom. Wear white, propose, come out, or announce a pregnancy. Your fiancé wants to take the limelight away from her cousin, and that is awful. Good luck. Not the a-hole, and do not let her ruin that wedding. Not the a-hole. Hijacking someone's event to make your own announcement is extremely rude and selfish. Add on that the couple is having trouble getting pregnant themselves, it's that times 10. As someone with fertility issues and 2 miscarriages, hell no. As someone else said, please Opie either leave her home or get someone to run interference if you can't or won't, because she will absolutely make the announcement anyway. Then no one will see that baby because you will be cut off from that couple. That is one of the most horrible things you can let happen. Not her wedding, not her time to share pregnancy news. Especially in front of a couple that is currently unable to have kids. It is so selfish and heartbreaking. When I was struggling to conceive, my brother and his wife announced their pregnancy and their own wedding. I was happy for them and told them so, but inside I was dying. I didn't stay much longer and cried all the way home. And it wasn't my night nor my event, but it still hurt. I can't imagine that happening at my own wedding, weeks after a miscarriage. Not the a-hole Opie. Not by a long shot. But you would be, if you don't make sure she will not interfere. Not the a-hole. Are you sure you want to marry this person? She seems to have zero self-awareness. And when you didn't lead to 3 cheers for her stupid idea, she doesn't want you there because you'll kill the mood? She definitely loves herself above everyone else, including you. Right? You would think that announcing a baby is something you would want to announce as expecting mother and father at a separate event that is dedicated to that announcement alone. No, you want to announce it in front of all of your family, with none of your partner's family and another random person's entire extended family who doesn't know or care about you, and without your partner there. But you have to make sure the person paying for the event has trauma about pregnancy. That way, everyone can have a reason to hate you. Now for the update. Sorry for the long wait, as I have been going through some things. Me and my fiancé are breaking up, work, death of my grandfather, etc. So I didn't expect to get a bunch of replies to my post, but a lot of them were helpful. My ex was determined to go to the wedding despite my protests, and even planned out how she was going to be refusing alcohol when offered. I did tell my ex's parents about what she was planning on doing. I didn't want to tell the groom or bride because I wouldn't know how to put it in words that would make the whole situation any less awful. Ex's parents did end up telling the bride's parents though, and then they told the bride. The bride was so upset that she unfortunately called off the wedding. Everyone wanted her to continue it and invite my ex for a couple of plans guests thought of. Like when my ex announced it, everyone would just stay nonchalant and not give her the excited reaction she was hoping for, and the classic just don't invite her plan. The bride was just understandably wanted to be left alone, and she just texted my fiancé a very long paragraph telling her what a horrible person she was. She just decided not to do the wedding anymore, and her fiancé was very heartbroken. But all in all, they were both grateful to me. My ex instantly knew that I was the cause of all of this, and she was furious at me. Even more because I posted about it here, but also said a pretty sick thing about how she still pretty much won anyways. I just decided to break up with her myself after that. Some of her family members are kinda upset with me, as they believed I just caused a bunch of drama. Now I'm currently in the works of talking to an attorney, as my ex told me I will not be seeing the baby after they're born. So all that on top of grief, working, breakup, being called a mess starter by some of her family, and still feeling like crap because either way the bride and groom were heartbroken. It's just putting a bunch of anxiety and stress on me, lol. Anyways, here is the long-awaited update. Any questions, I'll answer. Edit. So they were pretty much already contemplating on canceling the wedding. Family members did stress her out over her miscarriage and canceling. Her fiancé's family were excessive about how she couldn't carry a baby to full term like a real woman. Not to mention her own family went around spreading her miscarriage like wildfire, which is how my ex and I found out. They told it to coworkers even. It's not the first time my ex has also interrupted her cousin's big events. Example, when turning 17, my ex cake smashed her, which wasn't fun for her cousin. Their first pregnancy announcement, which was the miscarriage, was ruined because my ex blurted the news out. But her cousin was told to get over that because it was a miscarriage anyways. So she's told by family members. This is what I was told when asking her fiancé. So she's been at a breaking point for a while. She was considering just still continuing the wedding but wanted to be left alone. They didn't call off the wedding permanently, just until the bride has cooled herself down. I'm concerned about this baby. The timing of it almost makes it seem like your ex got pregnant just to show up her cousin. I'm glad you're getting a lawyer early. Yeah, that was my theory when Opie originally posted. Mine was that she was lying. The timing just seemed so coincidental, and I have seen where people get fake positive tests. As deranged as the ex sounded, it didn't seem too far-fetched. How sad for her cousin. I hate that she let your horrible ex ruin what should have been a special day. Honestly, the fact that your ex says she won anyway shows that it was never actually about wanting to announce a pregnancy, just about hurting her cousin for some reason. Don't back down fighting for your rights to your child. I'm very concerned about a person like that having sole custody over a living, breathing human being. Wow, I can't believe what I just read. I've seen other posts about baby news ruining another person's event, but always gave benefit of the doubt that the pregnancy excitement clouded judgment in the moment. Not here. The ex full-on planned to take over the event and fully make it about her. The poor cousin and her fiancé. Not sure I would want to marry into a family that mocked my miscarriage and not being a real woman. When you marry into the family. And that would be a big no for me, especially since it doesn't like the groom to be stood up to family when they said that. Not the a-hole. You did the honorable thing. Hold your head up and ignore/block the complainers. I hope you can get a lawyer to pursue custody rights and win 50% custody. You should at least get 50% custody, but also talk to your lawyer about whether or not there are grounds to try for 100% custody. Not sure if there are, but it's worth asking the question. Am I the a-hole for kicking out a pregnant lady from my birthday party? I, 27 male, had my birthday party 2 weeks ago. My mother had planned a surprise party for me at my house since she has a spare key. She invited my 26 male cousin and his 26 female pregnant wife. I don't have anything against my cousin, but I do with his wife. For some backstory, my cousin used to live with me when he was in college. In his 3rd year of college, he met his now wife. It was all fine until in his last year of college when his girlfriend moved in with us. For the first weeks it was all right, but then she started coming into my room and stealing my money, which I confronted her about, and she said that she hadn't done it. This kept on for 2 more weeks until I kicked him out. And since then, me and my cousin haven't talked much other than in his wedding. Now back to my birthday party, me and my cousin were catching up with each other. It was all going good until I said, "How has yours and your wife's life been after the wedding?" He was going to respond, but his wife said, "Stop being nosy. That's none of your business." And I said, "Well, sorry." After that, I walked away. I was talking with my mom and saw my cousin leave to his car and come back in with a big balloon. Then his wife said, "Listen up everybody, I have an announcement to make. We will be doing our gender reveal here." And I said, "No you won't." She said, "You can't stop me, bring the balloon." As my cousin is walking to her, I grabbed the gender reveal balloon out of his hand, run outside and let the balloon fly away without popping it. After that I walked back in and kicked him out of my party. My cousin screamed at me because I ruined his gender reveal, and his wife is crying, and half of the guests leave and say I'm a bad person for what I did. I haven't talked to them since, and my family thinks I'm a bad person for what I did. So am I wrong? Not the a-hole. People need to stop hijacking other people's events to save money. At least ask the person before you announce anything at their occasion. How selfish and self-centered do you have to be to make someone else's party about you? Doubt it was even to save money. The wife hates Opie and just wanted to steal the attention. And as an added bonus, piss Opie off. I bet that balloon was full of confetti. That stuff can stick around for months. If the wife really hates Opie, the balloon would be full of glitter. Not the a-hole. I would be petty and do a group text with everyone that was there and say, "Look, you cannot hijack someone else's party just because you're too cheap or broke to throw your own party. Especially since you never asked my permission or gave me a heads up." That is incredibly tacky and rude. I'm appalled at how some of you are supporting this entitled behavior. How dare you try to make me the bad guy when I refuse to let them make my birthday party about them? I'm not going to be a doormat and let people be rude and selfish towards me and then try to take over my events. Then I'd lay down an ultimatum of everyone who supported this crap needs to apologize or get blocked, because you don't need that toxicity in your life. Also, if they claim they asked permission from your mom since she threw the party, you now have new info and can talk with your mom to confirm. Put them on blast if they lied, and give your mom a reality check if it's true. You left off a sentence. Besides, the longer she stayed in my house due to her impromptu gender reveal party, the more opportunity she would have had to steal my money, just like she did repeatedly in college. If this was at your mother's house, and she had decided it was a joint party for birthday and gender reveal, they could have probably gotten away with it. But your mother throwing a party for you at your house is definitely a birthday party. And since she practically dared you to stop her, it's pretty funny that you did. Not the a-hole. Not only was she obnoxious for stealing the day, she also had the audacity to be rude to the birthday person prior to stealing the day. Like, why freaking show up to his party if she can't even answer what she's been up to? Definitely not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for not letting my sisters-in-law stay at my house while they visit her dying mother-in-law? My sister's mother-in-law's condition took a sudden turn for the worst, and she will likely pass away any day now. So a lot of sisters-in-laws from out of state, 12 plus people including kids, are right now making the trip to come and see her before she dies. According to my sister, her in-laws cannot afford to pay for a hotel stay again. They're expensive in our area, and her in-laws already spent up a lot of money on travel and hotels when they visited a couple months ago for my sister's wedding. They are also trying to put money together for funeral costs. My sister and her husband live in a studio apartment, so there is not enough room for everyone to stay, and there is no other family in the area. So my sister has asked me if they can stay with us. My husband and I live in a 3-bedroom house, so we have much more room than them. While we do have more room, we are not comfortable with houseguests we know, let alone people who are basically strangers. We only just met them at the wedding, and we didn't really talk to them aside from a brief introduction. We actually don't even know my sister's husband so well either, as we do not see each other often. Dealing with a grieving large family in our home for probably at least a week is so far out of our comfort zone, and we did not think it was unreasonable to say no to such a request. My sister thinks differently though, and thinks we are awful for not helping them out during such a hard time. They just need a place to stay, and it won't cost us anything. She said that now that she and her husband are married, they are our family now too, and family is supposed to help. I was honest with her and told her that I did not consider her in-laws a part of my family. My sister said that was BS, but that if I won't help them, then help her, since she is a part of my family. Instead of several hotel rooms, could they not look to share the cost of a holiday home/short-term apartment rental? Some sleep up to 8 or 10 people, and it would likely be a lot less expensive. Did this for my stepmother's funeral, then my dad's a few months later. 7 people. Big Airbnb. Cheaper than 3 concrete block motel rooms. LOL no. It sucks, but they are not your family too. Not the a-hole. How 12 plus people don't have enough money to get a room? Sister's husband should foot the bill for the hotel. They're his family. Absolutely. I found myself in a similar situation when my mother-in-law died. But I never reached out to my sister, mom, or anyone to accommodate them. Hubby and I reached into our pockets to help take care of the people who couldn't take care of themselves. She has a lot of nerve asking such a thing. You don't know those people. And she doesn't either. What's more personal than your home? She's crazy. That's her obligation, not yours. Not the a-hole at all.